Okay, in this final video, I'm going to show you how to make the head. I know this is a lot more confusing than you would expect it to be. You would think the head would be pretty easy, but this one kind of got me a little bit. So hopefully it won't be too bad. So we're going to start by dragging a cylinder onto the work plane, changing the number of sides, and then changing the dimensions. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab a cylinder and I'm going to drag it up here onto the work plane. I'm going to go under solid here and change the number of sides to 64. And then I'm going to change the dimensions. So the height is going to be 10. And the length and the width are going to be 30. So 30 for the width, 30 for the length. Okay, we have that part done. Duplicate the cylinder and change it into a hole and move it over to the side. I'm just going to drag this over really quick here. I'm going to hit my duplicate button. I'm going to drag it over to the side. I'm going to change it into a hole and I'm going to leave it there. Okay, move it over to the side, make the height of this 56. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to make this 56 and hit enter. Okay, drag a box onto the work plane. So I'm going to go over here, make the length and width of the box 52. So we have 52 down here. I have 52 up here on the side. Okay, we're going to select the box and the cylinder up here. I'm going to hit my align button. We are going to center left to right. We're going to center front to back. And then I believe we're going to duplicate these together, but let me just make sure. Yes and yes, group the two shapes. We're going to group these two shapes together. Okay, we did that so far. And now I'm going to make this entire shape a hole by clicking the hole button. Okay, and then we're going to move this over to the side and just kind of push that over to the side, and we'll come back to that later. Okay, I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. We have that extra hinge down here in the bottom left corner, so I'm going to click on it and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to drag the duplicate. I'm just going to move it out of the way really quick. And then it says rotate the duplicate 90 degrees to the left so the knob is facing down. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees to the left so the knob is facing down. And then I'm going to drag it so it overlaps the head. So we're going to kind of put it like here in the center. I'm going to select both of these. And I'm going to align these in the center right here. Okay. Excuse me. So that took us all the way through step 12. Okay, I'm on step 13. It says drag a box hole. So I'm going to click off that so nothing is selected. Okay, and we're going to deal with how this looks in a little bit, so don't worry about it yet. Okay, I'm going to drag a box hole onto the work plane. Actually, I'm going to, hold on, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to change the length and width to 14. So 14 for the length, 14 for the width. Okay. I'm going to drag it so it covers the hinges inside of the head. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to drag this so it covers the hinges. So we're going to try to make that perfectly over the hinge there. And you know what? I think it's easier. I'm going to rotate my plane. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to kind of go from this view up here. Okay. And that looks like it's covering it pretty decently. All right. So let me see where I am with my steps. Drag the box so it covers the hinge inside the head. Select the head, the hinge, and the box hole and click the align button. So we're going to align all these shapes. So I'm going to select them all. I'm going to click the align button and we are going to click the, so look at that. I am so good at centering. Look at, they're already centered, but I would click that center button. Okay. Now I'm on step 15. It says select the head, wait, hold on. I skipped step 14. Hold the shift and select just the box hole and the head. So I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to click on, well, I'm going to click the box first. So that's selected, the box hole. I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to select just the head. Okay, those two shapes are together. I'm going to group them. That's step 14, okay? Okay, now I'm going to click off. Okay, now I have the head and the blue hinge. So now it says select the head and the blue hinge. So I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to group those together. Okay, so now they're all one piece. And actually, I'm gonna Control Z. I'm gonna take the blue hinge and I'm gonna use my up arrow and I'm just gonna move it so it's sticking out a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but I have it just sticking out just a little bit. And I might change that. I think I'm going to have to change that later. It actually is too big of a hole right here. So I might move it down just a little bit just to leave a little gap. Okay, now I'm going to select both of these shapes. I'm going to group them together so they should all turn blue. And that was, let me see what step that was. That was step 15. Okay, now it's step 16 says drag the big box hole over the head. So I'm going to take this big box hole that we made over here. I'm going to drag it over the head. Okay. And then I'm going to select the head and the big box hole. So I'm just going to drag a line through these two right here. I'm going to click my align button and I'm going to align center on the bottom here, which it already is. And I'm going to align center on the left here. So it's perfectly aligned. Okay, I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. Select just the head. So I'm going to click on the blue inside. So I don't want the box selected. I'm going to ungroup it. So I'm going to go up to the toolbar on the right and I'm going to ungroup. Okay, I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. It does say in the instructions, the head will now be orange and the hinge will be blue, which is correct. Now I'm on step 19. It says select just the hinge and ungroup it. So I'm going to click just on the hinge in here. I'm going to ungroup it. And now it says it'll turn to red and orange, which you can see it did. Okay. And then number 20 says select just the small red stick in the center of the hinge. So I'm going to zoom way in so you can see it. Let's kind of turn the plane. You see the little red stick there? I'm going to select just the red stick. And I didn't get it. I think I got the box instead. So let me click off. I'm going to try to click just the red. There we go. All right. It says drag the, and I have a little picture in the instructions too. But do you see this little black square at the top? I'm going to click on that and I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to drag 5 millimeters. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 millimeters. That was step 20. Step 21 says select the big hole, the head, and just the outside of the U-shaped piece of the hinge and group them together. So I'm going to click off. I just want this big red U right here. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to click the head. I'm going to click the hole out here. And I'm going to group those together. Okay. And then step 22 says click just the little red piece again. There we go. I'm on just the little red piece that you changed in step 20 above and drag the little black square at the end to change the length to 11. So I'm going to click on this and 9, 10, 11. Okay. I think I did something wrong there. I'm going to control Z that away. Why is it so big? I think I changed it wrong before because it should not be higher up than the other one. So I'm going to control Z and we're going to go back and do those other steps again. Sorry. Hold on, now it's looking all weird. Control Z, Control Z. Okay. All right. So this takes us back to step 18. So now I'm on step 19. Select just the hinge and ungroup it. So I got to click on the hinge again. I'm going to ungroup it. That will make it orange and red, which is correct. Okay, I have to select just that red piece. So maybe I need to zoom in. I want to select just the red piece. Okay, this, you know what, I took the blue square over there. I need this, or the black square, excuse me. I need this one down here. And I have to move this to 5. And it's not really doing that, is it? I'm going to control Z. All right. Drag the little black square at the end and change the length to 5. I wonder if I have to change it by 5. See, it's at 4 right now. No, it's not at 4. Yeah, there we go. 4, 5. I don't even know if it switched. I'm going to control Z again. Hard to see it because of this. See, I don't even see a black square at the end. This is the side to side. This is the top. I don't think it's this one. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, none of them are moving. You know, I'm going to just go to this white square right here, and I'm just going to pull this out one. I think that should be enough. And as long as it's not too high. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then now I'm going to just spin my plane back around. And you know what? We're going to change it in the next step anyway. So if it didn't work for you, don't worry about it at this point. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to click off so nothing's selected. I'm going to click the red U part. You know what I'm going to do though? I really think this is too far away. Um, you guys don't mind if I go way back, do you? I am going to Control Z, Control Z. I'm going to Control Z a lot here. Okay, all the way back to this part. And this blue, this is way too big of a gap. So I'm going to move this back and back so there's no gap. Maybe even back a little bit more. That might be too much. Maybe I can move it up just a tiny bit. Okay. So oh gosh, I do move way back. So let me see where I am now. Let's see. I selected the box in the cylinder and aligned it. Click the front of the button and the shapes. Rotated it. I dragged it over the head a little. Okay, I'm assuming those are still aligned. 14, drag the box close so it covers the hinge inside the head. I think I have to group all this together. So select both the hinge and the head and choose the align button. I did that. Drag a box hole onto the work plane, change the length to 14. Drag the box hole so it covers the hinge. I did that. Hold shift and just select the box hole and the head. Group the two together. Select the head and the blue. Okay, I am there. I'm on step 15. Select the head and the blue hinge and group them together. So that's step 15. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and drag this box hole back over the center here. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to drag a rectangle to select both of these shapes. I'm going to click my align button, and I'm going to click the align center in the front. I'm going to click the align center on the left. Okay, so now it's perfectly centered. I'm going to click off. And now I'm on step 18. I'm just going to select the head and ungroup it. So just the head only. So I'm going to click on the blue head in here. I'm going to click the ungroup button. This will turn the head orange and keep the hinge blue. Now I'm on step 19, where I'm going to select just the hinge. I'm going to ungroup that. That'll turn to the red and the orange, which it does say in the instructions. And now I'm on step 20, where I'm going to select that red small stick again. So let me zoom way in and see if I can actually figure this out. Okay, I'm going to zoom way in. I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. I'm going to click just the red. And I am not seeing the black rectangle, the black square. And I don't know why it's not showing, because this is the height. I think it's this one here. And it says to move it to 5, but I can't really move to 5. So I'm just going to move it to 12. I'm going to move it to 12. I don't know why it's not going to 5. All right, select the big hole, the head, and the outside shape of the U piece and group them together. All right, so I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. Now I'm going to select the red part of the U here. I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to select the orange head. I'm going to select the big box hole on the outside. I'm going to group all of that together. And that's step 21. Now I'm on 22. It says click just the little red piece again that we changed in step 20. So I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. I'm going to select just that little red piece. And it says change the length to 11. And I think last step we went to 12. So I think we can just go back and just make it 11, which is just a little bit shorter. And then step 23 says select the head and all the pieces of the hinge and group them together. So now I can go ahead and draw a box around the entire head and group it together. Okay, I'm going to drag the head so it is attached over here. And I feel like that hinge should be a little bit longer, but we all know that my head was a little bit too loose, so maybe this is a good thing, right? So I'm just going to keep that there like that. And then I'm going to select the head and the body. And this is step 25. We're going to just align it perfectly in the center. So I'm going to click the align button. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Where's my center button here? So I'm going to click the center button over here so that they line up perfectly in the center. And then we can do a couple things. We can delete this little extra hinge that we have here because we don't need it anymore finally. And I can select both the body and the head and I can group those together. And I'm going to click home over here to recenter my work plane. And in just a second, we are going to see the head will actually group together. It's still thinking. There we go. Yay. We have a finished person. So in the top left, you should probably name this like flexible responsible person or whatever you want to name it. And then you'll go ahead and click send to and download it in order to turn it in. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.